I don't know if I'm going to ruin the recording on the other side or not by doing this, but we'll just start out, and if it's ruined, so be it. I can't help it, you know. That'll be just... I can't remember if I'm supposed to roll it back, you know, or what. Well, I wouldn't think they'd make them that way. Anyway, well, we went to town to Staniel and walked through, which was like one block, and there was 2 supermarkets in the town. I had to get some toothpaste, so we went into one. It's like the size of your guest bathroom, I guess, and they're very small, and they've got some shelves and things on it, and mostly things that tourists are going to come or that people buy, emergency things, you know, cleaning stuff and stuff like that. So then we went back to the ship, and we got on the... before we went back, I had these crazy dogs running after me. They were looked just like Goldie did, except that one was black and one was more on the reddish side. And they were about her age, and they were just good old dogs, you know, just wandering around and saying, "Hi, how are you?" And it was fun to see. And then one old dog, he come to the boat there, and he's going around, and the one dark man, he says, "That dog, he bit my cat and killed it last week." He says, "I don't have no truck with him. He only likes white folks." So well, I says, "Well, I didn't do anything, you know, he just walked along behind me. I couldn't help it." But anyway, the dog, not the colored man, the dog goes down to the water, and he sits in the water, and he looks, and he looks, and he looks. And then when he sees a fish going by, he gets up slowly, and he looks, and he's jumping after the fish, and he sees where they go into, you know, under the little rocks, you know, and he goes with his foot, and he turns rocks over. There was shells there. He turns shells over, and then the fish come out, and he runs again. God, we stood there for an hour and a half, I'm telling you, watching this dog trying to catch fish. It was the funniest thing. I threw some ice cubes in close to his head, and he'd see the water popping up, and he'd look around. Well, God, I guess the ice cubes melted as soon as they hit the warm water down there. Oh, he was so funny. And then we went on the glass bottom boat, and we went over we were going to go over and snorkel by some caves. Well, that water was rushing out like you couldn't believe. He couldn't hardly hold the boat. He says, if you guys get out there and snorkel, you're going to be snorkeling in Nassau, because there's no way to stop that water from running. So he advised everyone not to go. There were caves there that we were going to go in, and you could go right into them and snorkel. So we didn't do that. But we saw these fantastic reefs. This was just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how big these coral fans were, but they looked from the top as big as me. It was unbelievable. They were beautiful. And all kinds of these giant angelfish with the purples and yellows and the reds and blacks and all different colors. It was unbelievable. So we did that for an hour. He took us out, and he made 3 loads, so it took almost the whole morning. And then we just had lunch now. We had cheese soup and bread and ice cream. And now the boat is pulling out. Now see, the tide is coming in, and it's getting a little bit deeper. We have to have 6 foot. We can't go out unless it's 6 foot. And when we came, the tide went out, and everything was very low, but now it's coming back in a little bit, so we're trying to get out. And we're going to go not too far away, maybe only about 30-40 minutes from here. It's called Little Major Spot, and we're going to snorkel there. And it's supposed to be very good there. And the weather is beautiful. We had so much rain yesterday and wind and everything else, and today it's just like you see in the advertisements, with this gorgeous water, greens and light greens and the blues. It's just beautiful. So that's what we're going to do. We got our fifth jigsaw puzzle up. It's the Moulin Rouge, which is very dark and will be very difficult to do because the pieces, they don't get together real tight. You know, some of them are just together because they're straight or something like that. Very difficult to work with.
Oh, now making our way down this very narrow and shallow channel.
Captain is talking.
With that railroad crossbar look to it. Then we'll take a right fall in the deep blue water, on as though we were going back to sea once again. You get to see the inlet we had planned to enter yesterday, the one that we detoured past, and actually not reaching this far north to try to keep the ship from rocking quite as much. We came in a different cut. We'll get to see the one we would have come in. Off to the right, you'll see the beautiful deep blue waters as we approach back toward Exuma Sound.